Hi everyone, it's Dutch Reefer here and welcome to a new Reef update. So today's update will be about the big tank. As you might see, some things have changed. I think the most noticeable thing will be the color. For the past few months actually, my videos have all been pretty blue. So after a couple of you already suggested to buy a clip-on lens, well, that was actually the perfect solution for this. So I bought the DD coral color lens, as you can see right here. It's a package that comes with 3 different lenses. It's actually a zoom lens, as you can see right here. A orange filter, which filters out a lot of blue, and a yellow filter, which is attached to the camera right now. The only downside so far is that the gimbal that I'm using is not handling the extra weight of the clip-on lens very well, so I might have to support it a bit. You might see the screen wobbling a little bit because of it, so I'll try to find a solution for that. For now, let's get to the tank. Well, as you could have seen if you watched my video last week, there's 2 new fish in the tank. I already discussed them in a bit more detail last week. The convict tang, you can see right here, which is actually getting used to the tank quite nicely. And the parrotfish, that is right here, which is of course a beautifully colored fish with a bit of a pastel colored body, and it's looking at itself in the glass reflection and thinking, what am I doing here? The biggest change that you might see to the tank is that the pumps are now attached to the long side on the back, at least from where I'm standing right here, and that has a reason. And the reason is that I decided to change this, well, not actually the reef scape, since that is still the same, but I changed it from a peninsula tank to a regular tank with a normal black back wall. So as you can see right here, I put some black vinyl on the back of the tank, and that way creating more of a normal regular aquarium. 1, less cleaning, that always helps. 2, the fish have a bit more hiding space since the back wall is now not completely transparent. They have a little bit more shelter, or at least the feeling that they have some more shelter. And for me, it's easier to maintain just one side of the reef, and when placing corals or rocks, I only have to think of how it looks from one side, or actually 2 sides, since obviously the short side on this side is still also transparent. And the added benefit is that there's no longer pumps attached here and here, which caused the glass to become dirty, and now I can just leave it on the back wall here. So there's 3 gyres actually currently running. It's completely gone, so let's do it manually. Sorry for the hassle. So there's 3 gyres in here. I already had 2 of them in here before, and the 3rd one I had still as a spare, so I could easily just put that in. Though the flow is directed a bit differently now, so it's coming from this pump vertically along the short side and then turning around towards the long side, as can be seen by this hole in the sand. And of course the 2 big gyres on the back wall are aiming horizontally towards this side of the glass, and in that way creating current. And it's the same again, you can see right here and right here that I still need to adjust their speed and their pattern, since there's also still 2 of the Jecod pumps, the SOW15, on this side and on the other side as well. They are running in else mode, so they are changing one by one. First this one is on, and then that one is on. You can see on the back end when the convict tank is not in the way, assuming he's hungry. So as you can see, because there's the least flow is on the back side of the tank, so there's still some cyano on the back of the tank. But as a plus, on the front side, when you look at it from this side, most of the cyano is gone already. So I'm actually quite relieved, since that gives a whole better look of how the tank looks overall when you come into the room or when you just checking out the fish. It's nice to see a clean sand bed instead of a big red mess. So that's nice. So that's quite a big change. I'll need to see how that works out. For now, I'm glad that I did it. It's been running like this for a little. Well, I think I changed it on Monday or Tuesday. So for a few days now. And yeah, so far I'm really liking it, and it gives the reef a bit more contrast than before, when you could just see through it. So I'm actually quite happy with the way it turned out. Let's see how it goes towards the future, of course. An added bonus is that I like to attach corals to the back side of the tank, which I also had in my Red Sea Reefer. So actually I had a big Cephastrea and a big piece of green star polyp, GSP, which are all attached to this small side now. But once the back of the tank, which is now black, gets a little more filled with coralline algae, for example, then it's possible to reattach these corals to that side of the tank, which gives it a more natural look, which I really liked from the old tank. So it provides a new opportunity to adjust the tank to my liking. So, like I mentioned, one of the reasons I did this is also for the fish. Some of the fish were quite stressed, so now and again you could see them following you around the room, and I think by blackening one window, and now they have a little bit more a sense of shelter, so that should calm them down a bit. Although I was not too worried about that, since all the fish looked healthy, still look healthy. The convict tank is actually getting fatter and fatter, as you can see. When I just got it, you could see its spine very well. You can still see it, but I get the feeling that it's eating very well, and it's getting fatter already. So that's of course a nice thing to see, since you want to see your fish thrive and be healthy, and I think that's exactly what it's doing right now. So that's what I wanted to show you today in this update. I can still do a little bit of talking about fish, since I like that a lot. But feel free to tune out if that's not what you're interested in. But let's look at some fish while you're still here, if you're still here. So the copper band obviously is still doing very well. People have asked me, how old is he? Well, if you've been watching my videos for the past years, if you trace it back, you can see that it's about 5.5 years old now. So it's been in my tank since November 2014, when it was still very small. And it has migrated with me through my houses and his tanks, or her tanks, I'm not sure if it's a male or a female. By the way, if anyone does know how you can see their gender, then please let me know in the comments, and I can try to find out, since I'm always curious if it's a he or a she. But let's call it an it until then, not to stress out anyone in these strange times where gender is a thing. So, mentioned before, the convict tank is actually has calmed down quite a bit. When I first added it, it was a bit stressed and rubbing itself against the sand bed, and now it's just mainly looking for food all day. So it's probably wondering why I'm close to the tank but not adding food. I try to add something extra every day, So either use mastic, which I will feed tomorrow, I guess, or a clip with some Caulerpa taxifolia attached to it. That's a macro algae. If you follow my Instagram, which is also called Dutch Reefer, at Dutch Reefer, then you can see some pictures where I'm feeding the Caulerpa taxifolia, and it's it likes it a lot. Together, of course, with the rabbit fish, the fox face, which is also really fat, and even the I was quite surprised that the Pygoplites, as you can see right here, the angelfish is also fond of this Caulerpa. And now that we mentioned the Pygo, that's the fish that I notice has really liked me painting the back wall black, since it never showed itself before, or not a lot at least, and it was very scared as it's right now. But I can see it moving out of the reef more and more. I've already had it for months, I'd say almost a year, maybe even before. I don't remember if I bought it before or after we moved houses, but it's definitely showing itself more and more, which is very nice because it's a beautiful fish to look at. One of the most beautiful reef tank fish in my opinion. Of course, it's hard to say most beautiful fish, since they all have various features to like. For example, the beautiful blue color of the hippo tang, which is unmatched by any other fish. This color is electric. It's really wonderful to have one of these fish. If you have one, you know what I mean. If you've ever seen one in real life, it's hard to capture on video how beautiful this blue color is. Well, moving on, I'm contemplating whether to end the video or just to film along a little bit longer. Let's do one or two more fish and then call it a day. The parrotfish we already discussed last week. This week I'm able to show you it in its true colors. Since last week the video was still flickering a lot of blue, and adding the lens, the yellow lens from DD really helps. So this parrotfish, while it looks quite fat already, or bulky, it should be bulky, I got told by someone that it's actually a bit on the thin side, so I'm closely watching it. It's actively eating as well, both on the fleshy food that I give every day, and also on the Caulerpa that I'm feeding a lot. So it's actually very active in eating, also cleaning, of course, as you can see right now. So it's nibbling away at the reef. So let's get it also. Let's get that one to strength, back to strength as well. So all in all, while we see the cleaner Ras cleaning some fish, harassing some fish even, it's always doing a nice job at cleaning all those pesky parasites, or at least that is what I think it's doing, or at least that's what it thinks it's doing. But as long as it's busy and not harassing fish too much to a point where they get stressed, then it's fine, and it's actually been doing that job quite well for the past year and a half, I guess. So we're at 40 minutes. Let's call it a day for today. I'm just really happy that I can show you the tank in its true colors, since the way you're looking at it right now matches the color that it is exactly. So that's a very nice touch. Hopefully I'll be able to fix the gimbal for next video, since now I'm holding it with both hands, which kind of defeats the purpose of the whole gimbal. But that's fine for now. I'll try to fix it. So until then, again, stay safe. I hope you're still doing well. Stay inside as much as you can, and let's get through this corona crisis and on to better times. So thanks for watching. Have a nice weekend, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.